Well, hello, everybody. My name is April Consulo, and I'm a regional marketing director with an incredible company called World Ventures out of Plano, Texas. And I'm here today to spend the next 30 minutes with you to share with you a unique idea that I started using to create another revenue stream for a couple of my nonprofits. Now, you're probably being invited by somebody that you know that cares enough to share this information with you. And you can either represent a church, a nonprofit, a charity, a 501c3, something that has put you in a position where you're trying to create fundraising efforts to create a revenue stream for whatever you are trying to accomplish in your charity or organization. And that's why you were invited to spend the next 30 minutes with me and see what we're doing that might be able to help you. So one of the first things I want to do, so we're not perfect strangers, is why am I speaking with you about charities? Well, I spent 25 years in country music, and I spent a better half of that spending my time donating my band, my music, my writing to many causes, from Make-A-Wish to Special Olympics to athletic associations. I actually spent over 20 years touring with the best in country music, the George Jones, Travis Tritt, Ray Price, so the legends and the newer artists, and was blessed to do so. And so when I was on the road, again, donated a lot of time and effort and money to continually help these charities achieve what they wanted. About 20 years ago, I got off the road and started doing some additional nonprofit work. One of the noted ones that most people are really impressed with is that I actually won an election in a city and state I'm not from. I was elected as mayor in Nashville, Tennessee, for a small satellite city called Old Hickory Lakewood. And what I did is, when I won the election, I stepped down to vice mayor, and I actually only ran for the election to start a charity. So all the salary that I received in that position, it was donated instantly into a 501c3 called the Friends of Lakewood, so that I could help children, not just in our district, but with areas outside of our district. In addition, I have another nonprofit called Women, which you can see on the screen. That's word of mouth entrepreneurial networkers. And I've done many things: real estate, top 5% in the nation, donated for Habitat for Humanity. I have property management. Because of my background in the music industry, I donate coaching time. I wrote a piece called Permission to Live, donate my time speaking in high schools, colleges, about really following your dreams. So I feel I have the opportunity to spend 40 years of my life giving. When I saw this idea, which I'm going to share with you, 7 years ago, the first reaction I had to it was, wow, all those times that I've been doing charity work to create funds over and over and over, and here's a way that could create a reoccurring revenue stream. I got really excited, and it's done just that for me and some other charities, which we'll talk about in a moment. So just that way we know a little bit about who I am and why I'm so passionate about sharing this, as well as your friend that is either sitting next to you or sent you this video. So let's talk about nonprofit statistics. I knew this just because I had a lot of competition in the industry, and I've studied what it's really done. In a 4-year span from 2008 to 2012, nonprofits had increased in 501c3 status over 63%. And when I saw that, I was so excited, because my first reaction is, wow, so many people want to step up and help others. And I love that. And that's the way I was raised. And I just think that's an incredible thing, showing what we're doing here in the United States. But the other thing that I saw was that, wages, almost 10%, 8.3% of wages were covered through nonprofits. But here's the thing that really bothered me is in 2012, over 100,000 nonprofits had failed within a 2-year status. And, if you think about any traditional business, a brick and mortar business, those numbers are about right. Because if we don't have something to sustain our nonprofit, just like a restaurant, a flower shop, any business, we're going to fail. And so there's multiple reasons why we fail. But the biggest ones that I saw going on in the charitable organizations is we were doing things the same way. So this is kind of funny, but it's not. How many walkathons and fish fries have you been a part of, or a bowl-a-thon, or car washes, or barbecue dinners for $200 a plate, or raffle tickets, or let's take it another notch. Some people say, oh, well, Miss April, I do things a little bit better than that. You know, golf tournaments, yeah, but we have a better way to raise funds. So maybe you're doing things like, oh, the cookie dough and popcorn ball drive, and the pasta drives, and the calendar sales, and I love the candy bar drives, you know, and now they're doing, you know, wrapping paper, and, you know, I don't know about you, but, you know, when my daughter was in school, they would give us, you know, not only did they want my family to buy the stuff for the kids, but they asked me to take the sheet, you know, the sheet that we're supposed to take into our office and our friends and our people at church, and asked them if they would be willing to buy. So not only was it going directly to me, it was also going directly to my closest friends and family. And we'll talk about what we're doing that's similar to that. And then some of you are like, oh, April, I don't do that. By the way, Mrs. Fields, if you wanted to bring her company in as a fundraising tool to sell cookie dough for, let's say, an athletic association, you need uniforms. It's a $1,750 investment up front that does not include the cookie dough. So it's a lot of money to do some of these drives. I'm sure you recognize that. And then here's the one that I love, where people are like, oh, I'm so past that, Miss April. We have a fundraising committee, a chairman. We do things a little bit more advanced. So here's what you're doing. You're doing either grant writing, which I hope you realize that, you know, grants are getting harder and harder to get because of what we just talked about, how many people are begging for that money. And then some of you have done things like GoFundMe. I've actually seen the younger generation today, instead of giving money to your church, to your charity, to something that their parents had given for 20 years prior, they will find a stranger on the internet who they feel needs their money more in another country, and they'll donate their money. So there is no consistency, and there's no guarantee that that money is going to keep coming. And that, again, goes back to why so many charities and nonprofits fail. And in many cases, churches don't fail maybe, but they're not growing to the degree that they want. They're calling what God has led them to do. And then, of course, the last thing is sponsorships. I can tell you, to get a sponsorship, it's going to be who you know. And then what happens if you hire somebody to do these things for you, and that individual decides that they get more money going to another charity, guess who they take with them? All of their sponsors, all of their talent. And now you are in a situation where you're struggling. And so remember, I said 7 years ago, I saw an idea and I started putting it to test. And it has dramatically changed the way that I look at fundraising as well as charity giving. So let's talk about that. So why do they struggle? Well, lack of innovation. If you're just doing it that, you know, what we just talked about, walkathons and fish fries, you're going to struggle. Just believe that there's no competition. Oh my goodness, so many times I'll sit down with somebody, I'll say, Miss April, you know, I really want to start a battered women's shelter and I want to call it X. And I'll say, did you know that there's already 75 shelters within X amount of space, because nobody's doing their due diligence and research. And if you are on this for the first time, just thinking about creating a charity, first of all, I want to say congratulations and what a blessing you are. Second, I want to say, please do your due diligence and do your research. If you were going to start a pasta restaurant, your first thing you would do is check all the pasta restaurants. You might go check them out and maybe even try their food just to know what sets you apart. Inability to plan for your next generation. The one reason I'm so excited about what I'm sharing with you is if I were to die today, my nonprofits would outlive me because there's a residual reoccurring revenue stream coming in, and I'm not asking my daughter to take on that stress of always creating fundraising ideas. And you know, I've met with some very, very prominent nonprofits, and a lot of them talk about how they're struggling getting the younger generation, the millennials, to even care about their cause or their charity. And a lot of it is because you're doing things old school. So what about social media handouts? This newer generation doing GoFundMe, that started through a younger generation that said, you know, I don't want to go out and, keep selling cookies and so forth. And then burning out your fundraising board. I've been on so many fundraising boards. It's unbelievable. And even after all that I do, everybody's asking me, hey, can you help me with my walkathon? And then I have to ask them, well, is it for diabetes? Is it for fibromyalgia? Is it for cancer? Is it for children? We have so many causes now. Which one do you choose? I mean, how does a person choose anymore? It's just so many people grabbing for that dollar, and it's burning out your fundraising board. Have you ever noticed it's very difficult to keep the really good, talented ones because they're just tired. They're tired of being in begging mode, and lack of support from your grants and sponsors. And then it always comes down to lack of money. The more money you have coming in, you can get back to what you are talented at, and that's helping whatever cause you have. So we know there's a problem. What's the solution? Well, first of all, you got to create generational wealth. What does that mean? Well, just like people that go to work day in and day out and they're still barely making ends meet in a family, well, we got to create generational wealth for your charity, nonprofit, and church. So let's talk about what our program is. So first of all, I'm going to teach you how to create residual with this idea. Because residual income, if you don't know what it means it's a reoccurring revenue stream that comes month after month, week after week, and you have to start looking at why are the wealthier wealthy. Recently, Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki, and some others, now our new president, they had endorsed years ago residual income through different ideas, very unique ideas, and it was why the wealthier get wealthy. And so this idea that I'm sharing with you is going to create residual, because otherwise you're doing the same thing year after year, begging mode. Number two, it's going to have to create a steady stream, and it's going to have to allow your leaders more time to go and work on the mission of their organization. Number three, it's going to leave generational legacy, because again, let's say you move on or you step down, that money is going to come in month after month, and it's going to create that consistent growth. And you're not always wondering where the funds are coming from. And so the last is you're going to actually share something with people for the first time. No disrespect. I love cookies and I love calendars and I love popcorn balls. But what I'm going to share with you is something that people wanted anyway. So I'm not asking them to buy it because I marked it up and I want them to be guilted into it. I'm sharing something with them that their family would want and need anyway. And so it's more of an inherent yes. And I think that's going to be exciting. And it's something they would treasure for a lifetime as a family. So again, it's a little bit less about being pitchy and, hey, please buy these 12 boxes of cookies and take them to your work. It's more, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? So we're going to move on and show you what we're going to talk about our program is. So our product, unlike a cookie or a popcorn ball, is the gift of travel. It's the gift of travel. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about what I just said. And I want to show you how this works for almost every charity, nonprofit, and especially churches. So hang tight, okay? So have you guys understood what's going on in today's world? Because I'm talking to you about innovation right now. See, innovation is what Skype did to long distance. No longer do we pay a long distance bill, or what Uber has done to the taxi service and also the rental car industry. They're worth over $92 billion, and right now they have partnered with Ford, and they're creating a new vehicle that is driverless, okay? And then what about Netflix with video rental? Remember the days when we used to go to something called Blockbuster? Well, we don't do that anymore. And so you have to be just as innovative with this, you have to be with your fundraising ideas. So our program is called Dream Trips, okay? So Dream Trips is what all these are to those industries. We have innovated, disrupted the travel and entertainment space, okay? And how you're going to travel as you build your businesses. So let's talk about what we do. We are stress-free vacations on a current budget. Not cheap. This is not cheap trips. These are high-end. You're going to see that in a moment. And we're now, this December in 2016, we will be 11 years old. So it's not a new idea. You might just be hearing about it like some people are just starting to understand what Uber is, or Twitter, or Instagram, or Snapchat, or all those industries that are growing quickly. but maybe you just didn't pay attention until it came to your household. And we're actually in 29 countries. There's two parts, whereas you'll expand this. I know I work with a lot of churches, and they're in different countries and other charities. And so it's nice to know that you can expand globally with us, all right? So let's talk about why we're different. Well, here's what's been going on. So we used to have something called travel agents. Well, the travel agents have disappeared, of course. And now what we have is we've said, hey, I don't need a travel agent. I'll go to the internet. And so you are spending countless hours, or your secretary or whoever does this for you, to book flights. And you're just spending a lot of time wasting hours. You're going to Expedia, Travelocity, Cheap Tickets, Orbitz, William Shatner, Priceline, all of these sites. In fact, statistics show that the average person will open 15 to 22 search engines just to look for a family vacation. So we're wasting a lot of time. Our expectations when you get there, I don't know about you, but we're reading reviews, and it's supposed to be 2-room suite, king beds overlooking the ocean. And you get there and it's like, you open the windows and you're like, sweetie, there's barely a creek out there, and it's nowhere near what you thought it was going to be. And now you've pretty much, it's too late to help that vacation. And then, of course, what about, is it a great experience? Most people take a vacation, you know this, and when they go, they barely have enough money for the hotel, so they just sit on the beach, look at a few local magazines. They don't do things like meet Super Bowl, get up to the best seats of the Super Bowl. They don't zip line. They don't skydive. They don't kiss dolphins. They don't do anything that's a peak experience, because they don't know how to put it together. And then the last one is, wow, are you getting a great deal? I mean, is it the best deal just because you found it on the internet? Not likely. And we're going to prove that, okay? So just like hailing a taxi today, if I did that versus going to my phone and just looking for an app called Uber, staying inside the hotel, comfortable and safe, I just look for a little car, and it gets a car. I push a button and there's a taxi, and it's usually a mother, a husband, a son making extra money. The cars are clean. They're excited to know why I'm in that city. Do you understand how easy that is? Well, that's exactly what we've done on family vacations and travel. So here's what we've done, guys. We've created this stress-free way called Dream Trips. Now, you've probably seen that sign, guys, okay? So that sign, which is now all over the world, there it is. You should be here. You should be here with these folks. You should be here with your family. You should be experiencing this incredible week off that you have, making memories. God created this earth. This is an incredible place. Why is it most of us will never go anywhere? And then if you're between 18 and 25, the young kids, they like to one-up us. Theirs is kind of a fun name. They call it Dream Trips University. Are you tripping? Are you tripping? And they just understand at a younger age, they want to see the world. They want to make a global impact. They want to help children in their backyard, but boy, they want to help a child in another country. And that is what Dream Trips can help them with. All right, so let's get to what sets us apart. Here you are on the internet. This is you. You're trying to book a trip for you and your loved one to go to Disney World. And it's expensive. So you're going to stay at the Gaylord Palms, a little over almost $300 a night with taxes, hopper passes to Disney. You're going to get breakfast buffet daily at the Gaylord. By the way, this is a beautiful hotel, as you can see, based off the price, and an airboat tour to get over to Disney World. Now, this is what you would spend countless hours trying to put together for $1,500. If you're a Dream Trips member, here's what April does, and here's what all of our members do. We go to our phone. We're going to go to our app, which is on my phone, my Dream Trips app. It's right there. And as soon as I click on it, I just say I want to go to Disney World. And it's in multiple months, and then this is the price I'm going to pay. 2 seconds, pick, click, go. But guess what? On our Dream Trip, they fly trip hosts out there to make sure the experience is incredible. And in many of these resorts, we have private parties, receptions, pillow gifts. We don't touch our luggage. We're pre-checked in. The retail price, none of that happens. If you need anything, many of these charges are upcharges. In ours, it's private. It's included. It get all these extra perks. Look at that price. That's a third of the cost. Let's try another one to show you how incredible we are. How about the Parker Meridian, New York? Now, if you've never been to New York, how would you plan that? You wouldn't know what's close to Central Park, what's close to Harlem. I mean, you wouldn't know Brooklyn versus, Manhattan. So how do you do this? Well, this is you playing on the internet, the Parker Meridian. Of course, you want to go see the Statue of Liberty, have a lunch cruise, you and a loved one. How about show tickets to Broadway? You can't go to New York without that. And you can see all of these extra things. It would cost you $2,800, or you go to your app, pick, click, go, and you get that for you and a loved one out the door for $538. Now, I love my cookies, but if somebody told me that there was a way that me and my family can save thousands of dollars, travel a little bit easier, a little less stress, make peak memories, I'd want to know how. Wouldn't you? So this is the gift I started sharing 7 years ago. And what I didn't know is that it was going to start creating a revenue stream. So hang tight, listen a little bit more. You know, this is a product you and your family would want. So what we've done, guys, people always ask me, April, how can you get this? Travel agents can't get those prices. Well, what's happening is you're on the internet booking a room for your family, the Consulos or the Smiths. We're over there leveraging like two big giants you probably heard of called Costco or Sam's Club. If you're a Sam's Club member, like I am, I get to walk into the store and I'm leveraged with 63 million people. And because I'm leveraged with 63 million people, my husband bought a 55-inch HDMI smart TV, this is a true story, just last week for $299. If I walk into across the street to Walmart, yes, they have the same TV, but you're not a member of the buying power of Sam's Club, so the same TV is $699. So because I'm a member of the club, I have buying power. Not a member, I can still go shop at Walmart, but I'm not getting that value. And all they do, guys, Sam's Club and Consulo, is they buy in bulk. So when we go to those resorts, we're buying in bulk. You're over here booking a room. We're booking hundreds of rooms week after week after week, getting trip hosts out there to help accommodate the staff. Guys, this is the way to travel. You can't beat it. Travel agents can't beat it, and you just can't beat it. So let's talk about why our program is so amazing. Is it's a household membership, just like Costco and Sam's Club. Covers you and an adult guest. So if you're single, if you're married, your spouse is covered. All the children in the household are covered. And that's going to be a really great way to keep your family bonded. Now, on most of these trips, it does not include airfare, but we're going to talk about how you can book your own airfare. So your app actually has a way that you and your family can put down your bucket list, and it's interactive so that as new trips come up, and this year we're going to do close to 11,000 dream trips. Next year, we're slated to do double that. So you can take as many trips as you want or as little as you want with your family. If you're single, you can take another adult guest on every single dream trip, and they get that valued price. And that's a blessing as well. So here's just a couple more I'm going to fly through. San Francisco, Fisherman's Wharf, Pier 39 for 2 adults, $698. That's taxes, gratuities, and fees. And you'll see this little circle there. And there's a 50 in it. Well, that represents $50 more off that already ridiculous price. That includes 3 nights, 4 days, Park 55. I actually took this dream trip. Wine tasting tours, pillow gifts, private receptions, pre-checked in, sightseeing tour of the city, and this is a few blocks from Pier 39, which is where Alcatraz is from. You can actually see it. So what a value, guys. This is, again, an award-winning hotel. So I'll show you how to earn those points in just a moment. Here's Nueva Vallarta. This is a 4-diamond, 5-day, 4-night resort, all-inclusive. So that's all you can eat, drink, stocked bar, non-alcohol and alcohol in your room. 24-hour, you get a junior suite. They get extra excursions like swimming with sea lions, catamarans, snorkeling. See, this isn't let's just go sit at a beach. This is let's enjoy all of our surroundings. Let's get those peak experiences. I had some friends that were just on this trip, watching them in their 70s, zip lining, swimming with dolphins. These were bucket list items for them. They never thought they'd have a chance to do. Now look at this, 200 points. See, each point represents $1. That means this already low price, you can get $200 off that, 200 points, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So how about Dubai for $1,456 minus $360, 360 points? Guys, you can't beat this price. And let me ask you this. Would you really book something like this on the internet? See, I wouldn't. I wouldn't feel safe. I just had some friends of mine go on this dream trip out of Atlanta. They own a nonprofit. And when they got there, all they looked for were $1 million buses that were showing them the sign in the actual airport. And as soon as they saw that, they knew they were safe. And they knew that those were the buses they get on, and they were whisked away to the resorts. And it was an incredible, incredible event. And they didn't have to guess how to maneuver through the city. It was just awesome. And the memories that their 15-year-old son will have are priceless. How about this, guys? How about Bristol, Tennessee? We do all the sports, the Super Bowl, the Masters, the Kentucky Derby, but we get tickets, the parking, the breakfast, the end zones, hanging out with the racers, all the things that you normally could barely get the ticket and the nosebleed. Now you're in the experience, guys, at a fraction of the cost. Okay, how about this? Greece for an entire week, 8 days, 7 nights, $569 minus $125. You could price out La Quinta probably in almost all of your cities, and it would cost you more to stay at home at La Quinta than going for a whole week in Greece. How about this? How about Hawaii? 6 days and 5 nights with a luau, private party, breakfast. You also see this? It includes a photography session with professional photographers taking memories of your family on the beach. And then we have something called Welcome Dream Trips. This is where a lot of our guests get really excited. See, we want you to use your product right away. That's the beauty of this. So in the first 90 days, you also get another perk price, and you can take these, what we call quick getaways, a long weekend, a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday. Here's some examples. How about New Orleans? French Quarters. New member pricing for the first 90 days. Now, you don't have to take the trip in the first 90 days. You just book it. But we have trips like this all the way to next December in 2017. So you look at the kids' schedule, you look at your spouse's schedule, and there it is. $438 to stay at the French Quarter for 4 days and 3 nights. Look at this, guys, New York, that same trip now under $500. How about this, Vegas? Now, everybody loves Vegas, but here's what I know. Most people go to Vegas, they walk the strip, do a little gambling, get a breakfast here or there. We're actually getting you on the strip. You're going to have a private champagne helicopter tour throughout the city. Some of our trips have where you're actually racing race cars. But let me ask you this. Would most of your friends be able to afford that? No, but it's all included in that incredible value. How about Disney World? Look at this. Now we're under $440 for that same dream trip. And now here's the second part I want you to think about as far as the charities and nonprofits and the churches. So the second part of your membership as a gold and platinum member is you get your own search engine, because why would you keep going to those other sites when, one, you're not guaranteed the best price? 2, the commission that would have been paid to a travel agent, where did it go? What if that money could transfer into what we call Rovia dollars, and your church and charity could use that for future flights, hotels, rental cars, and dream trips? Pay attention here. I want to use an example. I went to a church earlier this year, and they were having a conference. Now, how many of you have conferences? I don't care if it's a cheerleading conference, a volleyball conference, whatever type of conference we always have, right, at charities. So here's a conference. It's a women's empowerment conference. It's a Christian event, and they were getting ready to put this together, and they had already done this flyer. So I went to the lead pastor, and I said, can you tell me a little bit about your conference? And he said, well, this is what we've done. And I said, can I ask you where, the tentative 100 attendees, because this was going to be in the southern part of Georgia, where will those attendees be booking their hotels, rental cars, flights? And he said, I don't know, one moment. And he went to his lead secretary, and she said, well, we don't have a relationship. We got a small room block. So I asked him what they were paying for those 100 women. Each woman got a room block rate at this one hotel there in this little town of Columbus, Georgia. And the room block rate was $129. So I went on our search engine right there just to say, I'm really curious what I could get this for these women if you had this for your church. So we looked it up, and we were at $109. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot of money, but watch this. If you take 100 times a $20 savings, okay, you've already saved $2,000, right? But watch this. What if the commission that got lost was also paid to the church in the form of Rovia dollars? So the church, the lead pastor can fly more, or if you have a sick family member, or maybe you're doing more mission work. Well, watch this. The commission per night, and this was a 2-night conference, so they were staying $20 a night over, $20 over a night over. So now we're at $4,000. The commission for each night, because it wasn't it was, again, not super high rate, but the commission on average was $10 per night. So now you have $10 times 100, another $1,000 times 2 nights, 2,000. Now we're at $6,000 overture that this church and these women had to pay. Now they don't care. They don't know what's going on, but then it gets better. Do you see this technology? We have something called Rate Shrinker. See, what happens is by the time you book it, a lot of these conferences are 30, 60, 90 days. Maybe you're getting ready to put together an empowerment event, or maybe all your cheerleaders have to go to a Hilton in North Carolina to compete with your daughter, or whatever the industry is. But watch this. Rate Shrinker, you book the flight or the hotel. And if the price drops before you board the plane or actually turn the key in the hotel, they actually put that money back on your credit card. So guess what I did? I attended that event because we ended up partnering with the church. So I had a booth there, but guess what happened? When I already booked my rate at 109, when I went to check in 30 days later, the rate had dropped again to $99, which means all those women, if they had booked through the church's search engine, the church would have got the commission, or the organization, but in this case it's a church. The church would have got all the commissions. And all of those women attending would have got an email saying, congratulations, the hotel price had dropped $30 a night. And they would have been celebrating and grateful that the church went and did this, wouldn't they have? Guys, this is how simple it is. And that's when I started talking more to charities and churches and nonprofits, because every day we're booking these things. Now, what the church did, they're called the Bridge Church. They actually did an entire flyer for the women's event, and it said the Bridge Church partnered with the You Should Be Here Son. And it talked about how they're so excited to be working with this organization that they wanted those families to look at how it can help their family individually, as well as every time a membership is sold, it can help the church with expansion. So we'll get to that, but isn't that interesting? And they actually created the bridgechurchtravel.org. And I want you to think about this. Almost every church has ministry, youth ministry. If you don't have marriage retreats, you need to be doing more of those, because 53% of divorce, if you talk to couples, it's the biggest reason is they're not connecting. So if you have a program that lets them get away more, guys, this can really, really help. So in many ways. So let's move on. So what if you could shop online? What if you could buy your copy paper for your charity or your family, or let's say you want to go to Target, but instead of going to target.com, you go through this and you can earn commission, what we call Rovia dollars, percentages off everything you buy. Why would you not do that? See, I'm a businesswoman. If I could make my money work twice, if I could buy, a new computer, a laptop, which this one is, I went to bestbuy.com. The computer was $200 less than Best Buy online. Same computer, I had it wheel called, picked it up at Best Buy an hour later, and earned an extra $38 in Rovia dollars that I could use for more flights to go do charity work. This is an incredible program. You can see I get excited. So you can shop, dine, and refer your way to vacations. And it's not just your charity. Understand that if any of your people in the congregation, anybody in your fundraising chairs, any of your friends and family, they can do this for their own household. And why wouldn't they? 63 million people joined Sam's Club to save money on toilet paper, chicken wings, and straws. Why wouldn't millions join this club to save money on everyday things and make a memory? All right, so thousands of retailers, everyone the Targets, the Best Buys, Lowe's, Home Depot. I've been doing that for remodel right now. And we're going to move a little bit faster because we're running out of time. I don't want to go too long for you, but here's some other information. Concierge service. What if you could actually have a live concierge service? That's part of your Gold and Platinum membership. So you can book, dine, and chat. Everything is through your Dream Trips app. And then we have this new computer card that's coming out in just a few more months, and it's a loyalty card. So that actual card is not a debit card. It loads all your debit cards, your credit cards, your loyalty cards, your Sam's, your Paneras, your gas cards, your Walgreens. And what it does, guys, is when you show up at one of those stores, you can just tap it and you start touching it, and it actually turns into whatever card you're using, and it accrues all your points. It is safe. It has multiple patents on it. If the card was lost or stolen, you could push a button on your phone and it disintegrates all the information. Unlike your credit card, you've got to worry whose hands it's in. So isn't that crazy? So this will be coming out. Look for it towards the winter of 2016, early 2017, and it's going to be an amazing, amazing piece of technology that no one in the world has. So what does it cost to join the club? Well, I know if you asked me to buy 5 boxes of Girl Scout cookies, I'm in the deal for about, $30. So what if you could have this whole household membership for $100 one time? That's not per year. That's not a month. It's $100 to have as many dream trips as you want, in-destination support, and the rate shrinker technology for your entire family. And then there's a small monthly fee to help pay for the trip host, your app, and our buying power. I looked at that and went, wow, that's nothing. But watch this. The $99 that you pay, it converts into travel points. Remember, we showed you those earlier in the presentation. So as soon as you join, the company says, here's 100 points to go towards your very first dream trip. Isn't that amazing? The $24.99 a month points, they accrue. And at the end of 1 year, those are all given back to you. We call them cloud points. And you'll have 300 points to go towards your next dream trip that you can book up to another year. So everything you pay is given right back to you to go towards a dream trip. That's a pretty incredible program, isn't it? So the next two are the gold and platinum I shared with you. The gold is what we've been really talking about, the concierge, the dining, entertainment discounts, online mall, and earning commission to go use for other flights. Now, as a gold member, you earn 50% of the commission. So it's just a little bit more to join this with all those extra perks. It's $200. You get 200 points back that day and $50 a month. So at the end of 1 year, you have accrued 600 points, $600 to go towards another dream trip. Now, platinum. This came out just a little over a year ago. And it's not that it changes the actual Dream Trips program. You get all the standard, all the gold perks, but you get pre-sale access to certain trips. In fact, Platinum Dream Trips, there are some that are only for Platinum members only. If you're the type of person that likes to be at the front line, meet, hobnob with some of the stars, actually have, instead of a community bus, a beautiful bus pick you up, maybe you'd rather have a private town car when they're available. That's kind of what a Platinum member is. In addition, you get platinum perks on almost every dream trip. You get exclusive dream trips, emergency evacuation. Again, I want to talk to churches right now. Your church, if you flew to South Africa to do mission work, or any of your members, it's a $25,000 fee to get you life flighted home. Do you have that insurance? Most people don't. So this is an extra perk that covers you as you're traveling more and doing mission work or any charity. Also, you can apply more points on every dream trip. You get roadside assistance in the U.S., and that's if you're not even on a dream trip, you break down, need gas, tires, anything that you need, guys, a lockout. That is a peace of mind that I love having. And you also get ID resolution. So if your identity theft, you know what these things cost, that's covered. And the last thing I want to talk about is teledoc. See, we have telemedicine. So if you were sick, you don't have to take time off work anymore. You just go to your phone, you click on an app. It doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. in the morning. You can talk to a doctor, live teleconference, whether as long as it's not an emergency, they can prescribe antibiotics, ointments. That's an incredible service, and that's covered. So look at the price variance. It's only $100 more than the other gold membership. All that accrues to points today to go towards a dream trip. And then you pay $100 a month, but you get all those extra perks and services. And the $100 at the end of 1 year goes towards your $1,200, 1,200 points towards more dream trips. So everything you pay in to this benefit, you get back. Now, I've been a Sam's Club member for years. I've never gotten my money back with a Visa card to go shopping. So think about how incredible this is for your members and why you wouldn't want to share this with your congregation. You think about it. I tested it with this one church, and the pastor asked, how many of you plan on taking a family vacation the next year? Everybody raises their hands. How many of you will be doing business travel? They raise their hands. How many of you donate your time to do mission work that would need a flight or a hotel? Everybody raises their hand. In fact, I don't think there wasn't a hand raised. So if you had a way you could do it wholesale and make it easier on your family and create memories and save a lot of money, would you want to know about it? Oh, absolutely. Well, guess what? You see those women back there with those "You should be here" signs? Go visit them at that booth. They're going to share with you why we partnered with this incredible organization. So there you go. So everything that you pay goes into the cloud. And here's the beauty. What if you could get your monthly fee waived? Well, they even set it up that way that once you've shared this, refer for is what we call it. Refer for, pay no more. So yes, if you just share this with your friends, we want to reward you by waiving the monthly fee. But even though you get the fee waived, the company will still keep putting money in your cloud, whatever level you went in. And at the end of 1 year, you still accrued your piggy bank fund to go towards travel. Refer for, pay no more. Now, we have people that do that in a day, a month. Sometimes it takes you a few months, whatever you choose to do. But I want you to think about that, because in many cases, we refer things every day. A good book, a good show, a good restaurant, Uber, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We've been referring things every day. We just didn't get a chance to go to Bora Bora for it. So, wow, isn't this incredible? So once you've accrued 3,000 points through our company, if you happen to do it in a year, which that could be 15 platinums, gets you 200 points for platinum referral. Gold is $100 referral points. That could create you what we call executive status. And I want you to listen to me, nonprofits and charities and churches. I have some charities that have done this. And one of them specifically this year has gone to Dubai, taken his son for the first time to Disney World at the Gaylord, went on a 10-night, 11-day cruise to all of these St. Simon's, all the Virgin Islands, went to Jamaica all-inclusive, getting ready to go to China. And the reason I say this is if it was a nonprofit, which it is, and they did that, if they started doing that, because prior to that, for 15 years, they never went anywhere. Every dime they had, they soaked into the charity. When you're executive status, it doesn't cost you a dime to travel. You can't look at the executive team and say, oh, I know where my money's going. I've been donating all my money to help the children, but it's going over here for you to travel. Or, Pastor, I've been, tithing more, and now I notice you took a trip to Jamaica. Well, what if it didn't cost you a dime? And guys, that's what we're doing. So once you accrue 3,000 points, you and your loved one can go do that. And what a beautiful blessing, because the truth is, you give 15 years to a cause, you and your family deserve to go. So it's time. So then let's talk about our cause. So not only are you giving to your charity, but every membership sold, every single membership, a portion is given back to our World Ventures Foundation. We do water filtration systems in Liberia. We do microloans to women in Africa. We do NBA dream courts to help children have safe places to play with the Nancy Lieberman Foundation in the U.S. Guys, we are what we call an impact partner of the Boys and Girls Club. We're impacting 2.5 million children a year in the U.S. So to do that is an impressive thing. So I want you to understand that just like the reason we sell the cookies, well, you're helping children all over the world globally. So we have over 1 million plus members all over the world, soon to be 60 million like Sam's Club. And once you get the sign, you can check off the bucket list. So let's talk about this. Imagine you have a volunteer workforce, and I go to the 10 people that sit on your fundraising committee. I said, wouldn't you want that membership? And they're like, yeah, I want the membership. So what if all they did is each of them just bought the standard membership? Guess what? It can start impacting your church, your charity, your nonprofit by starting to get ready to create a residual income. And I'm going to do a quick overview, but first I want you to understand why this versus cookies and calendars. It's simple. Travel's the biggest industry in the world. It's an $8 trillion a year industry, and it's only going up just because the baby boomers want to check off the bucket list and the millennials are going now. So it's a low home-based business. So let's say some of your people in your church or your charity need another stream of income. And don't tell me they don't, because every time I'm in an Uber car, it's usually somebody has a full-time day job, but they can't make ends meet. So now they're working part-time, giving up the most precious time with their children, and they're literally not creating residual. They're giving up that time to create another stream of income, guys. What if you could do it through this product? I'm sitting in a living room. What if they could do it after they put their babies to bed and they don't have to get in a car? What if we could create a plan B for them? Wow. Wouldn't that be amazing? And that's what we're doing. You're not tied to any schedule, just like Uber or Lyft. If you feel like sharing this gift today, I can share it with my friend in Colorado or Iceland. It doesn't matter. I can do it through the comfort of my home, or I can go meet with somebody for lunch. So, the status of networking to me has really changed when Mark Zuckerberg came out, because Mark said, look, I don't know a billion people, but I know a few that know a few that know a few. So when you really think about what we're talking to you about, it's called direct sales. And don't tell me you've not been doing it, because you've been doing the walkathons, the fish fries. Every time you ask me to purchase something, and then you ask me to take a step further and take it over to my work office, you've been doing direct sales. You just didn't pay attention to it. Excuse me. So what if you could get paid instead of helping all of these giants, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Ubers, all of these companies? What if for the first time you share this with somebody and it creates something the family wants, but it creates a reoccurring revenue stream instead of doing it for free? It's time, guys. So let's talk about my company and why I'm so proud of this company. I'm an independent representative with this company called World Ventures, but let me tell you what we've done. I've only been partnered with this for 7 years, but we are number 32 in direct sales in the world. In the world, we're in the top 100. We're number 32. We're up there with the Avons and the Mary Kays, and those are great companies. But let's be real. If you go to your congregation, they probably didn't need makeup, but they do need to fly to go achieve their goals. How about the Inc. 1000, guys? We're now number 667 in the Inc. 1000. That's privately held companies. By the way, this is our United States headquarters. We have headquarters in multiple countries. We all have over 700 employees that go to work for you, okay? We have tools and systems in place. What does it get you? Well, first of all, once you become a rep, so the church can become a rep, which is what happened with this church. They became a platinum and a rep. I want you to understand, being a representative is optional. It's optional. So you could share this with your congregation, and 70% of those people just become product users, just want to become a member of the Sam's Club of Travel. But 30% are like, I want a piece of the $8 trillion a year industry. I'm going to share it with my friends and family. What would it cost me, Miss April, to partner like you did? Guys, it's $100 one time. It costs the church an extra $100 one time. $20 a month to have 700 employees, to have 29 countries, to be able to share this with somebody here who shares it with a friend, and it goes viral all over the world, just like Zuckerberg did with Facebook. Guys, that's nothing. And if you're between 18 and 25, if you're listening, you can do this for $24.99 one time and $6.99 a month. You tell me where you can teach global impact, residual income, and allow a kid to have something more than just go to college, get in debt. By the way, we have kids that are able to work this while in college, just like their part-time jobs, and create residual reoccurring. You get online trading videos. We have your own website. So what this church did is they did this with their name.biz. So whatever organization you have, Atlanta Boom, which is a huge organization in Atlanta for volleyball, they did Atlanta Boom .travel. And so all of the girls, when they had to travel for competitions, they could use it as well, which was saving them money in the organization. So you get your own site. You could have your friend watch a video and watch the general consensus of it, not this nonprofit, but just what is the product and why are teachers and doctors and principals of high schools, that's the video you'll watch, and millennials loving our product and how we were built. And they just watch it in multiple languages all over the world while you're sleeping if you need to. And we have live world-class trainings, guys. We go to, I was just in Miami this summer where 20,000 plus of us sold out the same stadium that the Heat play, the Miami Heat. And then I was just in Vegas where the same place where the presidential, they did the presidential candidate conference, we were at the Mac Center and we're selling out arenas and stadiums. And if you're looking at partnering with a company, number 32 in direct sales, number 667, honored by Ernst & Young, and you look at this and you're thinking, wow, world-class training. That's a clue, guys, when you're filling out arenas, that what we're doing makes sense, okay? So there's no guarantees. There's no guarantee when you buy the Mrs. Fields, but there's also no expiration date on our product. So you don't buy it, you don't store it, you don't stock it, you don't deliver it. There's no expiration, guys. Travels, Disney, they improve it. It gets better and better. But here's what I can tell you. the more you go to work with us and partner with us, because we become a partnership with your volunteer army. So when I share this with a nonprofit, I am now part of their committee. It is my responsibility to help them roll this out. And that's whoever's sitting with you is going to help you. But here's what I know. You can earn up to $1.1 million a year in this program. Yeah, off that little amount of revenue stream. So I want you to think this is your charity. You share it with some friends or your lead people in your organization, and you challenge them to go share it with some friends. And guys, we're almost done. Just a few more slides. I want to give you an example of just 12 sales. Maybe you just have 6 people on your committee and they all sell 1 membership. You can start earning an extra $300 per month. I know that's not a lot, but to a college kid, that's a lot. That's just the start. Let's say you just start sharing it, and those people start sharing it, Bob and Kim, and they have 60 people. That's not 60 you personally recruited or shared it with that just got the product. We make no money if they get in the business, only if they purchase a membership, standard, gold, or platinum. Let's just say you have 60 on your team. You can start creating an extra $600 a month. You know, the average bankruptcy right now can be actually stopped with just an extra $500 coming in on an income. This could keep somebody from driving Uber where they can be with their family. I'm not knocking Uber, but what I'm saying is most of these people are working 40, 50 hours a week, and then giving up their weekend, which is the precious time with their families, and that could create that. And let's say those 60 go share it, and now that's grown virally, collectively to 180. Ooh, now we're getting interested. 1,300. Let's say they go share it with 400 people. That started through your organization. This is getting interesting. And as it grows, you can earn up to $25,000 a week based off the team's efforts, and you can earn up to $50,000 a month residually. You tell me where you can go earn $150,000. If it took you 3 to 5 years, even 7 years to create this, wouldn't it be worth it? Because if you don't do this, you're just going to keep doing the same old thing, getting the same result, and that's not going to help you anymore. So let's recap: standard, gold, platinum, whatever level works for you. Usually charities go with platinum in the business because they get 100% of the commissions. You earn more money faster. So I just want to put that out there in case you're asking them. And then, of course, refer for, pay no monthly fee. We can help you do that. We go to work with you. We have a training system in place. The business, which is optional, we make no extra money if you join this. This is how you have the rights to actually share this and earn money throughout the world. It's $20 a month, $100 one-time investment. And remember what I said, get 4, pay no more. They even waive your monthly fee. If you're 18 to 25, it's a $24.99 investment and $6.99 per month. Guys, that's it. I just want to recap with: we travel not to escape life, but for life to not escape us. And here's an important fact. Over 400 million people did not take their vacation days this summer. 400 million vacation days went unused. And it's usually because of time and money. Our company helps you with both those issues. This is a better product. It's something that creates residual income, and it's something you need anyway. And we're here to lock arms with you so that you have success to take whatever organization to the top. When you hit the highest ranks, they also give you a stipend for a house payment and a car payment. But I want you to think about this. The car payment is $1,500 a month. What kind of school bus could that get? What kind of bus could that be? What about a battered shelter with that $3,000 for women? What could you do with it? Sky's the limit. We're here to help. I want to thank you for your time. I know it took a little longer, but I wanted to be detailed with you. Now, the next step, get back with the person that shared this with you. Talk about how you can sit down with the group, your volunteer force, your fundraising committees, and get this product in their hands. We look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world and changing the world through residual income. God bless. Bye-bye.